What is up, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Real Ones Canes podcast. The man who is sitting next to me virtually, his name is Cam Underwood. He's the managing editor at StateOfTheU. You can follow Cam at Underwood Sports on Twitter. I'm Brian the Beast London. I manage absolutely nothing. You can follow me at Miami Radio Beast. We are coming to you about an hour after the University of Miami Hurricanes men's basketball team defeated the Louisville Cardinals at the ACC basketball tournament in the quarterfinals, 78-73 the final. Miami will move on to play Virginia in the semis, and that brings back some triggering memories of a foul at the end of the game when a guy was shooting a three, and then he took 3 free throws and made them all, and yeah, that was bad. But in any event, Cam, how are you, my friend? It's been a while.
Yeah, been a little minute. Glad to be here. I'm doing well. Just making faces at the mention of Virginia basketball, but or whatever. But I can't really complain, man. How are you?
I'm okay. Although the sun is evidently coming through this one window in my house that's making the top of my head look like I have a halo, which I definitely don't. But that's neither here nor there. On today's show, we will jump into the basketball in the first segment. The second segment, I want to talk a little football recruiting. I will restrain myself from bashing any kind of other sport that may be taking place at the University of Miami at this time. And Cam is giving you all the hints you need. If you're listening to this, you can figure it out for yourself. And we appreciate everyone that does listen and watch. Please subscribe. Please share. Please tell all your friends and family and make a comment. And I'll slide into the comments. I'll say hello. I'll say what's up. So we appreciate you doing that. Cam, the basketball team, I will just say this. Here's my 35,000-foot statement from up above, which is, really, anything the basketball team did this year that was better than last year was gravy to me because last year was so terrible. And in my mind, I was like, okay, first-time head coach, an entirely new roster. Like, this team can't possibly be that successful, right? Like, okay, maybe Jay Lucas has a system and they'll play better and play better than last year's, whatever that was. But certainly they can't, be great or pretty good. And they have defied all my expectations. And Jay Lucas is one hell of a coach, one hell of a recruiter. But more importantly, he got the right fit because it's not just about talent, Cam. It's about guys fitting together on the floor to get an entirely new roster and have them fit together on the floor like they did this year is pretty awesome.
Yeah, I think they've exceeded pretty much everybody's expectations, if we're being honest. 25-7 at this point of the year, into the semifinals of the ACC tournament. I know that we had a double bye into the quarters, but, we just lost to Louisville on Saturday. So, 5 days prior to the recording here. So, and I know that they were undermanned. I know that their best player, Michael Brown, is out for Louisville or whatever. Yep. But, look, you got to beat the team on the floor. And even without him previously, we lost to them. So I know that one win puts you in the semifinals, but by virtue of our regular season record, 13-5, a solid third in the ACC regular season, you earn that double bye. So, yeah, I think that all, from front to back, top to bottom, Jay Lucas has been a smashing success, exceeded expectations in a great way. Even with getting Dante Allen to flip late, he was committed elsewhere. I believe, or was going to sign somewhere else coming out of Montverde. I forget which school, maybe I forget. I don't want to say Villanova, but maybe it was, but another blue blood or a blue blood school. You get Shelton Henderson, a 5-star to sign and, make his decision at the end. And he's here, starting every game almost all year. You got, another 5-star All-American, McDonald's All-American, and Caleb Gaskin signed for next year as well. And then whatever you do in the portal, this has just been an absolute success. It's the largest wins turnaround in the country this year from year over year. We're plus 19, I do believe, already to this point of the year. And, so it could be very reasonable that we have more 20 or more additional wins this season than last season. I don't know that there's any way you can qualify that as anything other than a smashing success.
Yeah, no, it's been really amazing. I'm kind of upset that Jay Lucas didn't get Coach of the Year.
I also believe that he got robbed
in the ACC, but we know what state conferences.
I mean, at the same time, John Shire from Duke won it. Of course, they went 15-1 in conference. If we played 18, so they had to go 17-1. So I mean, there's merit to the coach who won it, and congratulations to him and everything. But especially like we're talking about a team that won 6 games last year.
Yes, correct.
Like that. It just, yeah. So, and I know that I said that I felt that Jay Lucas got robbed, and I stand by that. But of course, all the Duke slappies hopped into my mentions on Twitter at the StateOfTheU, and what about all the 20 years when, or 22 years that there's only been one Duke coach who's gotten it? Man, it was Coach K back in whenever, and all the other. You're
seems like a you problem.
Well, exactly. No, that's you're projecting your issues. I didn't say a damn thing about any of that. I just said this, and do I think that a Duke coach should have won it more than once in 22 or 23 years? Yes, absolutely. But me saying that had nothing to do with that. Again, hit dog's gonna holler. So it is what it is. But regardless, Miami into the semifinals of the ACC tournament. Couple good at least one McDonald's All-American already signed. And I would expect more players to want to come to play for Jay Lucas, seeing the success that he has and continuing to iterate.
As long as he's here. What? Huh?
He's gonna be here next year. But yeah, you're gonna have players who want to come down. You're gonna have players who leave off of this roster. There's gonna be playing time. There's gonna be shots. There's gonna be and we need more shooting, by the way, because the perimeter shooting on this team is quite poor. 5 out of 13 from 3 today, and we're just like, hey, just don't shoot threes. Just don't do it because we're terrible at it. So if there's somebody who's very good and also very good at shooting threes who wants to come down here, there's a role for you, brother. So, yeah, I think that we're in a good spot. I thought that it was a really home run hire when we made it, and this has really even exceeded those high expectations.
I think what's really cool is that he wants to keep players home in the state of Florida, and especially in South Florida. And you talked about 5-star recruit and Caleb Gaskins, the power forward out of Christopher Columbus. And you hope that there's more talent in South Florida that he can also keep home. So we'll see how that does. Here's one thing. Miami will play Virginia in the semis. And if you're listening to this and they've already played that game, we can't help you. It's the power of recording, these podcasts. But here's what I'll say. And listen, Miami during the regular season was horrific free throw shooting, but you can't when you get to the postseason, if you get to the charity stripe and you get a chance to, get free points, hence free throws, you got it. You just got to make them, Cam. They missed 10 today against Louisville, and luckily they still won the game. But that stuff comes back to haunt you in the postseason.
No, absolutely. That's another. I talked about outside shooting, but free throw shooting is another way that we struggle. I was trying to do a field goal free throw percentage. There we go. By team, let's find Miami.
Look way down the list.
It's going to be
very
way
far down.
Well, it's okay. We're definitely not in the top 50. Lord Jesus, I got to go by team, by 50s. This is going to take me a minute to probably find.
I'm pretty sure. I think they said it on the broadcast, but Miami is 15th in the conference in free throw shooting.
15th out of 16, by the way.
Yeah, that's correct.
Lord, where in the world?
No, is Carmen Sandiego? Yeah, I don't know. Haven't found her yet.
I know, right? Oh man, I'm in the 250s and I don't see us. 318 in the country.
Goodness gracious.
68.1%. Do you want to guess the teams that are around us? Another one's from the state of Florida.
Is it FGCU or
Stetson?
The Mad Hatters.
Yeah, the Mad Hatters, 68.14%, and Northern Arizona at 68.1. Also, we've taken more free throws than them. So that would technically be tied. But yeah, 318 out of 361 from the line.
That's bad.
And today, as I was live tweeting the game, this is the first game I've live tweeted from front to back. I've watched a lot of games this year, but usually I hop in the second half or like the second half of the second half, like the last 8 minutes or so. But I was like, no, like this is a big game, it's a tournament game. Clear the schedule. We're going to do that. There were so many times when I tweeted, Miami splits a pair at the line, da-da-da-da-da.
Yep.
Louisville makes both.
Yep.
Miami splits a pair at the line.
Correct.
Louisville makes both. Like, it was just like, I had other things because I would also include the time and score in the Miami splits a pair. But I'm like, dog, if I hadn't added that, Twitter would have been like, you said that already. You said that already. You said that already.
Right.
You said that already. But like, there were so many times that like we just kind of, split a pair. Like you can't keep shooting free throws.
But by my math, which could be totally wrong, Miami's in the bottom 12% of the nation. Bottom 12% in the nation in free throw shooting, which is it's just and listen, I get it.
Yep.
This team has succeeded no matter what their free throw percentage is. I'm just saying, like, again, you get a chance to go to the line uncontested and shoot a shot. Please make those shots, please. Please make the shots. All right. And you talked about the outside shooting, and we didn't get a lot of Noam Dovrat today. Late in the season, he kind of came on as the outside shooting threat.
Yeah.
He didn't even take one today. I think he had one shot. But it wasn't a 3-pointer.
Right.
And he did not make that. The team went 5 of 13 from outside. But you know what? Like, we've come to expect them not to be a good outside shooting team. This team it goes inside and they get freaking physical. That is their MO. Yeah. But again, postseason play, you'd love to have someone get hot from the outside. So I hope that
the threat.
Yeah, correct.
Exactly. I know that Washington hit a huge three there late. They ran a great play, stepped out there wide open on the left wing, knocked it down. Great. But like, that's on some Rajon Rondo self-check, It's like he catches it out there and it's like, bro, you got that. Like, nah, like, you go to play pickup. Nah, hey, no, you got that, fam. Like, I'm not even going to make the effort to go out there and extend myself to close out on a shooter because you're not a shooter. You're someone who's taking a shot. Those are very different things, right? And we don't really have that threat. Trey Donaldson, I thought he made a couple good plays, but his second half was really poor. I thought that and we also went away from actually initiating the offense through him. Like, we just kind of had other people handling the ball and initiating things. Like, I didn't really love how they went away from him in terms of like the floor general part of things. Not saying he was going to hit all these threes, but just like when he got an opportunity, it was a really, really bad miss, and he had a couple bad turnovers in the foul.
No, I mean it was really Malik's second half, right?
Look, he had 7 points in the first 3 minutes of the second half, and he had 6 in the whole first half.
And let's not. By the way, I was jacked up about the two, and they missed a third one. Uday alley-oops.
Yeah.
And then one of those lobs came from like way outside the 3-point line. So that was good. Listen, the way this team is going to win, if they make any kind of run here in the postseason, whether it's in this ACC tournament or in the dance, it's going to be defense and banging inside and being physical, right? Like that's their game. They're not going to change it at this time, but like maybe they can drop a couple plays to hit some threes. Maybe they can hit some free throws. Maybe they can get me less frustrated when they do those things poorly.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the free throws are the obvious area for growth because we're going to get to the line because we're going to attack the rim. So I think that's the real one where we just need to see some kind of improvement. I think there's probably less – there's probably more room for improvement because like we shoot 3-pointers at a very much lower rate of success, but I don't really want us shooting a lot more to try to take advantage of that. Like Donaldson, I don't want pulling up. I don't want Shelton Henderson. I don't want True Washington. Like True, you kind of Vinny the Microwave Johnson for my old, Pistons back in the bad boy days. Come out and you just go score off the bench. Dante Allen, if you're open and in rhythm. Malik Renew, if you're open and in rhythm, sure. But Noam Dovrat, respectfully, I don't think that he's really that good of an athlete. And when you're playing a team of the caliber with athletes
right, that's why that's why he didn't get many minutes.
Right. So but he's the one probably who has the ability to really maybe make a couple, but are you going to give it right back to him on the defensive end, kind of a thing? So, Malovitz, he's probably, he needs another Mango season or two. But this is his first game back after missing the last 5. But, anyways, even in spite of these things, and yes, we're being critical, but this is a tough physical team. They played great defense. They were clamps in some big moments. They rebound the ball really well. They had 8 or 9 blocks as a team today. They do a lot of good things, and they put pressure on the other team. And I, love the fact that we beat Louisville because I hate Louisville. And we move on to another team that I hate even more, which is Virginia basketball, because they're the prince of the earth.
You know what? Who don't you hate in this conference? Actually, is there anyone you just
hate?
Who is there any team in this conference that you just kind of don't like, but you don't necessarily hate?
There's lots of them. It just happens that we're playing a lot of the teams that I hate. So I hate Louisville. In football and basketball, I hate Virginia basketball for Tony Bennett era. He bastardized basketball so much, and I just can't stand it. So in anything that they stand for, and I know people who went there. I know someone who works there, and they and I go back and forth all the time. Cannot stand them. Football, I could care less. SMU, whatever. Stanford, Cal, whatever. Wake Forest, whatever. Boston College, whatever. I know 1984 happened, but that was forever ago. And I was 3 and I didn't know what college football was. North Carolina football, whatever. And basketball, we actually beat them kind of regularly. So
I don't like North Carolina football at all because I was sitting behind the goalpost when Connor Barth hit the field goal.
Yeah, right. Well, you have Connor Barth and the Marquise.
Yeah.
I get it, but
they are the main initiators in the conference of the upside down U.
Marquise Williams that year, where they blew us out.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, so
but to me, they don't affect me as much. So I hate Florida State. I hate Virginia basketball. I hate Louisville, actively with a passion. Past that though, I just like those teams. I don't really care.
I don't like Duke.
Well, that's just a general life principle.
Right. Something. There's Duke. There's 2 Duke grads who that's not true. Well, no. Hank Goldberg, who I used to work for, never graduated from Duke. But, obviously had a good relationship with him. Other than that, there's 2 Duke grads that I can stand. That is Dookie Lang from Channel 10.
Who was on this podcast
David Dookie Lang. But he's a huge Canes fan because his mom worked at the U for forever. Yeah. And my 7th grade girlfriend, who is now a teacher in Massachusetts, was a Dookie, went to Duke. And I still tolerate her. So I haven't blocked her on social media. So there's that. Okay. So those are the only 2. That's it.
Yeah, I don't know that I have any. And I know people are listening and watching. You're if you know me, you're Cam, you went to Cranbrook and you don't like Duke? Sure don't. Absolutely not. I grew up in Michigan, Fab Five, baby. I remember when they came out with the black shoes and the black socks. Went crazy in the city. I remember when they went to the baggy shorts and everything, and we were trying to get our, do fundraisers so that our team could get, the big baggy shorts. No. So after that, I could never. I could, even as a proud Cranbrook alum, I could never. You should be ashamed for even thinking it.
There's a timeout joke there somewhere, but I'm not going to make it. In any event,
I will drive to Cooper City. I will right now. I will pull up to your house. You better not. I was going to do something that would have got us demonetized, but I will drive. Brian.
Yes, I'm out. All right. We I think the basketball team, we'll see what happens against Virginia. Listen, Virginia's a really good team. Miami put up a great fight against them when they played in the regular season. Yep. And then there was a boneheaded foul on a 3-point attempt, and then the kid made all 3 attempts, and then Miami lost by 3. And we were all heartbroken. Yep. And we'll see. Like, again, it's all gravy to me at this point. They're going to get in, no matter what happens in this game against Virginia. They're going to get into the NCAA tournament. We're going to be watching Selection Sunday. We're going to see what's going to happen. They're gonna have at it. And if you asked me after last season ended and told me, hey, you're gonna have a first-year head coach and a completely new roster, what do you think? I'd be like, yeah, if we go above 500, that would be a miracle.
Right. But we have 25 wins. We made it to the semifinals of the ACC tournament, which I was always targeting as like kind of aspirational goals for this year, And so you have that firmly in the tournament, looking at probably a 7 seed. If we go further to the final, if not win it, maybe we could sneak onto the 6 seed line, but probably looking like we're going to be in a 7-10 game in the tournament. I think we're in a good spot. Excited to watch, some Friday night basketball against a team that I hate with the passion of 10,000 Suns and move on from there. So, yeah.
All right, we're going to take a break. On the other side, I want to get into some football recruiting. Miami got a huge commitment on 305 Day and a bunch more. We'll see what that will lead to, what that means, all of that stuff and more. It's coming your way on the other side right here, the Real Ones Canes podcast. Welcome back to the Real Ones Canes podcast. I'm Brian the Beast London. You can follow me on Twitter at Miami Radio Beast. The man sitting next to me virtually, he is Cam Underwood, managing editor at StateOfTheU. You got to check out StateOfTheU.com. Simply the best content when it comes to your Miami Hurricanes. It's free. It's open 24/7, 365. And Cam does a good job with his staff giving you the best content. Just go check it out right now, StateOfTheU.com. You can open up another tab if you're watching on a browser or something. You can flip the YouTube up in the corner of your screen and go check out StateOfTheU.com. Or if you listen to a podcast, you can do it too, except not while you're driving. Cam will be okay if you don't do that while you're driving.
I would implore you not to do that while you're driving. Yeah.
Unless you're at a really long light, then if you want to take a peek, feel free.
Not even.
I may do that every once in a while. Just saying. All right, Cam, I want to talk about football recruiting because it's that time of year and we're about 12 days away from spring practice. Mm-hmm. And Nick Lennear is a guy that everyone should know. He's a wide receiver out of and a defensive back for that matter. Are we at Carroll City now for Nick Lennear?
He is at Carroll City. He was at Miami Northwestern previously.
Right.
Playing opposite Calvin Russell.
So he commits on 305 Day. Mario is a big thing in his house, and there's Nick Lennear throwing up the U on 305 Day. Huge commitment. Tell me about this kid, what he means for Miami, and what this could lead to as far as other kids making the choice to come to the U.
Yeah, affectionately known as No Haircut Nick, because he's kind of rocking that Reuben Bain, maybe a tape every now and then, but like no haircut, kind of frizzy looking fro kind of a thing. This kid is a hooper. This kid is incredible. There were people last cycle who were unbothered by the Calvin Russell recruitment because they were focused on getting Nick Lennear in this class, regardless of what Calvin Russell did. So if he came to Miami, cool. If he doesn't, cool. This Nick Lennear kid is the guy. He's him. It's kind of like, I forget the name, but there was a linebacker at Miami Central years ago, ended up going to Maryland, and people were like upset about that. And then a bunch of people at the time were like, no, he's not the guy. Wesley Bassink, the next guy, is the guy. So a similar kind of a thing with Calvin Russell and Nick Lennear. Nick Lennear, he does. When he was at when he was at Northwestern, he did play both ways. I don't know if he's going to continue to play both ways at Carroll City, but we're recruiting him as a wide receiver. This is the kind of guy who would go to Alabama, Ohio State, Georgia, LSU, whatever, USC, somewhere else for a good long time. He's a huge Hurricanes fan. When he was at the All-American Bowl and Miami was playing in the semifinals against Ole Miss, he commandeered the largest screen TV in the event space and said, I'm watching my team play from my city. Whatever y'all want to do or what, doesn't matter. But right here on the gigantic wall screen, Hurricanes, baby. And then that he was shown in multiple tweets and videos that people pulled from social media of FaceTiming players and coaches live from like in the locker room while they were celebrating the win over Ole Miss. Like, this is a Miami Hurricane fan through and through. He was similar to, I mean, I always said Ruben Bain because Ruben Bain didn't technically announce he was coming to Miami until his signing day.
Right.
But the entire process, I said, I'll believe that Ruben Hurricane Bain, right. I believe that he's not a Hurricane when I see him on the field in somebody else's uniform and pads making a play. Same thing was my thought with Nick Lennear. Before we go on to talk about like the overall, we're going to try something a little different. If you wouldn't mind sharing that tab that I have open, Brian. Thank you very much, sir. So this is Nick Lennear, some of his highlights. He's at the top of the screen here. I'm just going to let you guys see what we have. So we can take this from Huddle. Nice little double move. And a better throw scores. But he still caught that all the way down there. This is Travis Powell Stadium against Central. See him again all the way to the top of the screen. Little tunnel screen. Okay, inside. Skeet, skeet. There's a miss. There's a miss. And we're taking that straight to the apartments. Thank you. Appreciate it. 7 points. Let's go. Here goes another one. I love this angle. So he's way over on the right-hand side. Not even the guy you see. There's another guy out there. And again, a sluggo, slant and go, over the top, blur, touchdown. Thanks so much. Columbus, I think, maybe? No. Yeah. Commodores. Here, he's playing defense and making a nice physical play. There's going to be a couple more plays you're going to see of him on defense. This is a physical tackle. In the flat, bang. Shoulder through the thigh pads, celebrating. So, like, yeah, he's 6 foot tall, 175 pounds. So he's not the biggest physical guy. Obviously, Calvin Russell is bigger physically. But he got that dog in him. Man. Here again, he is on the hash mark. And what's that, 10? I'm going to watch one more play. Well, I got a little bit more. That's all the way on the outside that we're circling, by the way. If I'm even, that's a throw and a catch. Look at that. And now he's the number 2 on this side. Oh, switch. Outside release. Beautiful reaching catch. This is the kind, and I'm going to stop sharing, of talent that he has and more. Like, Nick Lennear is a very supreme playmaker. You want that guy. You need that guy. And he has the personality to be a leader in this recruiting class. Sorry, that was my spiel on that. Before we go on, hop in.
No, so what I was going to say is, as soon as he, he committed, he threw up the U, all that stuff, I went and watched like every highlight I could find, right? Because listen, I'm not a recruit, Nick. I don't get to high school football games anymore, so it is what it is. But I went and watched literally every piece of tape I could find on the kid, and his hands are amazing.
Incredible.
His ability to, his body control,
incredible,
is amazing. His route running,
incredible,
is amazing. Like, just all of these things that you want to check off in boxes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, maybe he's not the tallest kid. Maybe he's not the fastest kid. But right, like, good and all those. But like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, but like every skill that you want a receiver to have, when I watch the tape, it's like, yep, box checked, box checked, box checked. Yeah. I'll take that.
Yeah, no, and he has the personality to be a leader in this class. And he's like a guy who others will want to follow.
Well, that was my next question, is like, how does that impact what others might do?
Yeah. I know that like wide receiver isn't the most impactful position as a Pied Piper in a class. Obviously like maybe an edge rusher or a quarterback would have higher impact in that way. But right. I think that, there are some guys looking locally like, okay, now we're getting the Malachi Tonys of the world. And now we got a Nick Lennear in this class and everything, and a Joshua Moore in the class before, and Ruben Bain 4 years ago now. And so now they're seeing that, and this is the latest player who they're like, okay, I think that we're looking good. So where do we go from here? Caden Henderson, 5-star linebacker from Champa Jesuit. He's looking and considering Miami very strongly. Mark Matthews, 4-star, 5-star offensive tackle from St. Thomas Aquinas. He's considering Miami very strongly. I firmly expect Mark Matthews also to be a Hurricane, whether it's sooner or later. I firmly expect that. Josh Johnson, a 4-star defensive tackle from Key West, 6'5", 270. Down to Miami and Florida, apparently, and as multiply reported by 247, by On3, and by other independent recruiting writers, has said that Miami, for Josh Johnson, the elite defensive tackle, is far and away his number one at this time, with a commitment or announcement coming up within the next 2 weeks-ish. Like, just those 3 players right there, 5-star linebacker, 5-star offensive lineman, borderline 5-star defensive tackle, all looking pretty smooth for Miami, right? So then you start to get that on top of the guy, you start to get other guys hopping in the boat. And then when you consider the fact that, like, Miami's already been doing work on the trail. So you have Jalen Johnson, a 4-star safety from MacArthur, already committed. DeMarcus DeRoche from Cardinal Gibbons, who could play tight end or edge rusher, 6'5", about 220. Amari Stevens from Chaminade, he moved over there. He's another, 5'11", 160-pound receiver with a lot of talent. Saquon Litton, like 6'6", 300-pound offensive tackle from Palm Beach Central, already committed. Those guys are in the boat already. They're already committed. And we know that Cristobal's organization or program has changed what it is to offer and accept a commitment. It is not as flimsy and frivolous as under Manny Diaz or Mark Richt or Al Golden. They've changed the procedure and like what it means. Yeah. Now you can have guys who change their mind and everything like that, but it's not just a fly by the seat of your pants kind of a thing to say that you're committed to the University of Miami anymore. So you already have a bunch of blue chippers. Then you get a Nick Lennear who's a headliner. Then you're making real moves for these other headliners. And that's not even getting into other headliners that you're either pursuing or trying to flip. Like who, Cam? Monshun Sales from Indianapolis, Lawrence North, 5-star wide receiver, 6'5", 195. Right? Love me some Nick Lennear, but what did we just say? 6 foot 170, Amari Stevens, 5'11", 190. We don't got a 6'5", 200-pound guy who moves like Monshun Sales, but we're pushing for him amongst many, many others. You're looking at KJ Caldwell, a borderline 5-star safety from Parkview in Lilburn, Georgia. You're looking at Jatori Williams, an interior offensive lineman from Phoenix City, Alabama, who's a blue chipper. You're looking at Anthony Cartwright from Detroit Country Day, Cranbrook's rival, an inferior school that's just down in Lasser, but whatever. I would drive by Country Day literally every day on my way to work. On my way to school in high school. But I will say that is a school that has a very strong history in athletics. They're now, as Detroit is becoming more of a football playing town as opposed to just basketball and other things, you could do worse than Country Day. Myson Johnson Cook, we talked about him. He's a 6'2", 235-pound running back from East St. Louis, Illinois. You're pushing for him. KJ Green, an edge rusher from Stevenson, Georgia, who's all kinds of blue chip and everybody wants. Juju Johnson from Long Beach Poly at a corner, who's another blue chip. Even if you only get half of the players that I've mentioned, and even if you're listening to me now and saying, I know none of these names, Cameron. I know none of them. I've heard zero. I know nothing. Every single player that I listed after I was talking about Nick Lennear, well, after the top 3, are blue chip players that everybody in America wants. Even if you only go 50% on those, you're still adding incredible talent. This is the kind of trajectory for a recruiting path that I believe we could and should have had in the 2025 recruiting class coming off of our first 10-win season in a while. But this is a class where even so, there's all these uncommitted guys. There's tons of other flip guys that we're also considering and chasing after to flip. Miami has a reasonable shot at a top 5, if not top 3, if not number 1 class in the country. And I think that this is getting getting Nick Lennear is a major step along that path as we're coming out of the dead period into this new live contact period where we're pushing things forward.
Did you mention quarterback in any of your last 5-minute spiel on recruits?
I did not mention any quarterbacks.
Is there a reason for that?
Just because I was looking at other people. There's Israel Abrams from Chicago, the Chicago area, who's a 4-star, borderline 5-star that we're chasing. Davin Davidson from Clearwater.
Yeah, the kid on the West Coast. Yeah,
the kid on the West Coast. That we're chasing also, and I think there's another name in there as well. I know that we were after Trent Seaborn, who's committed to Alabama from Thompson, Alabama, for a good long time, but it seems that like with Israel Abrams and with Davidson really taking a step forward and another couple guys that we're looking in other ways, but they will also be in this class. We're looking at that.
All right. Well, that's good. Listen, there's going to be, as we continue to go, like we'll follow these. I hope there's a lot of big commitments. I think this program is only just kind of getting to the point where they're starting to pick up steam as a program. We've talked about this. I mean, I know they went to the national championship game, but it's still, Mara's going to tell you they're never going to stop working. Like they haven't reached where they want to be yet. So, and that goes definitely for the recruiting front as well. So we'll see how that all pans out. All right. I think we accomplished what we set out to accomplish, Cam.
I do as well. We talked about basketball, recruiting and nothing.
We left out that other thing that I don't want to talk about because I'll get red in the face. And you and I made our free throws. So
always come on,
good.
Elbow in, flick.
Yep.
You know,
we don't have to run laps after the show.
No. Although there was one pass during the game, I tweeted it. There was a cross-court pass that led to a Louisville interception and layup in the second half. That was so bad. It made me winded to see that because when I played, if we threw a pass like that, let alone at a soft serve bloop tempo like that.
Oh, their turnover on the inbounds play and then the foul was horrendous, and their coach almost went apoplectic when that happened. So
I mean, they threw it right to True Washington, but so it is what it is. But I think we did it. I think this one's in the bag.
All right, perfect. All right, on that note, we will get out of here. We will see you next time. I'll be coming to you next time, probably from a cold Massachusetts, because I'm going up there for spring break. Where this week it's perfect. In the 50s and 60s. Next week, it's going to get down into the 20s. How fun for me. I can't wait for that. I'm so excited. I'm telling you. On that note, we will see you next time right here on the Real Ones Canes podcast. Peace.
See ya.